There is a certain presence that cannot be faked, a gravity that does not shout but pulls everything around it into orbit. It does not need to impress, to boast, or to demand attention, and yet attention is given freely. That presence is born from a single quiet trait: inner composure. This is the essence of the Stoic spirit, a spirit that is unshaken in the face of insult, unmoved in the face of chaos, and undisturbed when others would crumble. When we carry composure, we embody something magnetic, because composure is rarer than beauty, more enduring than wealth, and more commanding than any performance of dominance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, once wrote in his Meditations, "Be like the rock against which the waves break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." That image reveals the secret. True composure is not passive, it is active strength. The waves will come, the insults, the betrayals, the unfair judgments of men, and still we do not waver. Why is this trait so magnetic? Because most people are ruled by their emotions. They lash out when criticized, they crumble under pressure, they chase validation as if their survival depended on it. Their worth rises and falls with the chaos of the outside world. To stand among such people with calmness is to appear otherworldly. It is to represent something they secretly crave but cannot master: freedom from the tyranny of impulse. Epictetus taught, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When we hold composure, we are showing that we have conquered our own judgments, that the external world can throw its worst storms at us, and yet we decide what enters our mind. Others sense this, even if they cannot explain it. They sense that we are not tossed about by every gust of chaos, and this quiet mastery makes them want to be near us. There is a paradox here. When you do not strive to be impressive, you become impressive. When you do not cling to attention, attention finds you. Composure radiates the aura of someone who does not need approval because he already holds dominion over himself. And in a world of restless souls, nothing is more magnetic than a man or woman who does not need the world's applause to walk tall. But this composure is not given freely. It must be forged. It comes from discipline, from training the mind to pause before it reacts, from remembering that anger, envy, and pride are traps that consume more than they conquer. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Composure is born in trial. It is born when we choose silence over retaliation, patience over fury, and reason over instinct. Think of the men and women you admire most. They are not the loudest. They are not the ones who scramble for attention. They are the ones who carry themselves with dignity, who walk into a room and do not need to prove themselves because their very stillness speaks louder than any words could. This is the quiet magnetism of composure. And here is the truth. This is available to us, to you, to me, to all who choose the harder path of self-mastery. We do not need to announce our strength. We only need to live it. Every insult ignored, every impulse mastered, every storm endured with calmness, it all builds the aura of a person untouchable by chaos. 2. The magnetic power of self-restraint. There is a force within us that terrifies the weak and fascinates the strong. It is not loud, it is not reckless, it does not need to declare itself. This force is self-restraint. The discipline to hold back when every part of you wants to strike, to remain still when the world provokes you, to act with control when others act with impulse. Self-restraint is magnetic because it is rare. Most people are enslaved to their desires and emotions. They cannot resist the urge to retaliate when insulted. They cannot stop themselves from indulging when temptation appears. They cannot hold their tongue when silence would be wiser. They reveal themselves as captives of their passions, But the one who restrains himself reveals mastery, and mastery is irresistibly attractive. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is not just a call to endurance, it is a revelation of magnetism. The person who holds command over himself radiates an aura of authority that needs no approval. He does not seek control over others because he already possesses control over himself. That power cannot be faked, and people instinctively gravitate toward it. Think of the man who is provoked in public. The crowd expects an outburst. They expect anger, shouts, maybe even violence, but he does not give it. He remains still, his eyes steady, his breath calm. His silence says more than words could. In that moment, his restraint speaks of strength far greater than aggression ever could. This is why Seneca warned, "He who is quick to anger is quick to weakness." Restraint is not weakness, it is proof of inner dominion. Why is self-restraint so magnetic? Because it reveals freedom. The free man is not chained by his own impulses. He does not waste his life being pulled by every passion. He chooses when to speak, when to act, when to move. People crave this because deep inside, most feel like prisoners of their own desires. When they see one who has broken those chains, they are drawn to him, even if they cannot explain why. But let us not deceive ourselves. Restraint is not easy. It is war. A war fought not against the outside world, but against the restless forces inside our own minds. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself," and mastery demands struggle. Every moment of restraint is a battle won. Every time we choose silence over anger, patience over impulse, reason over passion, we sharpen the weapon of our soul. There is also mystery in restraint, and mystery itself attracts. The one who does not reveal all of his thoughts, who does not spill every emotion, who does not surrender his inner world to the eyes of others. He becomes unreadable, untouchable. In an age where everyone rushes to show themselves, the one who withholds becomes magnetic, for the unknown always draws curiosity. Yet the true purpose of self-restraint is not to impress others, it is to fortify ourselves, to ensure that we are never puppets, never slaves, never victims of our own undisciplined hearts. And here lies the paradox. When we pursue restraint for our own strength, we inevitably become magnetic to others. Because strength, when real, cannot be hidden. This is why the Stoics urged practice, not performance. Daily disciplines, daily reflections, daily reminders that the mind must remain sovereign. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now." Self-restraint is nothing more than wiping away the false judgments that tell us to lash out, to overindulge, to surrender to weakness. And what is more attractive than one who has mastered himself? His presence feels different. He does not need to dominate. He does not need to show off. His restraint speaks for him. Like a sharpened blade still in its sheath, people know the power is there, and that makes it more commanding than any display of force. So let us remember, the magnetic power of self-restraint is not in what we do, but in what we choose not to do, in the words unspoken, in the anger left behind, in the temptation resisted. Each act of restraint builds an aura around us, an aura that cannot be imitated. It is not performance. It is discipline repeated daily until it becomes our very nature. We live in a world drowning in noise, chaos, and indulgence. To walk through it with restraint is to shine like a flame in endless darkness. Others will notice, others will be drawn, but more importantly, we will know deep within ourselves that we are free. That is the true magnetism of restraint. Not that it makes others desire us, but that it makes us whole. And wholeness, in a broken world, is the rarest and most powerful attraction of all. 3. The silent strength of unshakable presence. There is a kind of presence that needs no introduction, no raised voice, no demand for attention. It is the presence of a person who has learned to be rooted, unshaken by storms, unmoved by insults, untempted by excess. This presence is not loud, but it is magnetic. People sense it. They feel drawn toward it without knowing why. It is the quiet strength of being fully at peace with oneself. The world is restless, minds race, tongues run, hearts tremble with anxiety about the future and regret about the past. Most people live like leaves in the wind, constantly tossed by circumstances. But the Stoic presence is different. It is like a mountain, standing still while the winds howl. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." To embody this is to radiate a kind of gravity. Others cannot help but notice it. Why is this presence magnetic? Because it carries what others desperately lack: stability. We are living in an age of distraction, where everyone's attention is scattered. When you meet someone who is grounded, who listens without haste, who breathes calmly even in chaos, you sense strength. You feel a pull, because deep down, every restless soul craves that calm. But such presence is not given freely by fate. It is forged. Forged in mornings of self-discipline, forged in nights of reflection, forged in countless battles where the mind chooses reason over passion. Seneca warned, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." That mastery gives birth to presence. Not the noisy presence of arrogance, but the silent one of inner dominion. Consider a room filled with people talking loudly, competing for attention. Suddenly, someone enters, calm, steady, eyes observing, lips silent. That person does not need to fight for attention. Attention bends toward them, not because they demand it, but because they hold something the others do not: control. The power to remain unmoved is the rarest power of all. This presence also carries an air of mystery. When you do not rush to speak, when you are not quick to display every thought, people wonder. They project strength onto your silence, and rightly so, for silence is strength. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." To restrain the urge to prove oneself is to demonstrate mastery of ego, and paradoxically, those who do not seek validation attract it the most. Yet let us remember, this magnetic presence is not built for the sake of others. It is built for ourselves. We do not cultivate calmness to impress. We cultivate it so that we may not be slaves. Slaves to anger, slaves to fear, slaves to desire. By standing firm, we protect our own soul, and in protecting it, we shine without trying. This is why people are drawn to those who carry themselves with quiet strength. They are living proof that freedom is possible, freedom from constant agitation, freedom from the opinions of others, freedom from the chaos of the world. Their presence whispers a message: it is possible to live differently. That whisper awakens something deep within the restless heart. And here lies the deepest magnetism of all. Peace is rare, and what is rare is desired. The calm man among the restless is like water in the desert. People want to be near him, not because he entertains them, but because his very being promises refuge. But we must be clear, such presence is not a mask. It cannot be faked. It must be earned by daily labor, by 1,000 choices where the mind conquers emotion. Only then does the aura of calmness become real, unshakable, and lasting. So we ask ourselves, are we like the leaf tossed by every gust, or are we like the mountain, firm and unyielding? If we choose the mountain, then we will find that magnetism does not come from chasing others' eyes, but from mastering our own. For the greatest attraction is not noise but silence, not the show of strength but its quiet possession. And when we stand rooted in calm, we need no words, no gestures, no performance. Our presence alone speaks. It tells the world, here is one who is free, and nothing is more magnetic than freedom. 4. The quiet force of detachment. There is a power few dare to cultivate because it requires a kind of death. The death of clinging, the death of endless craving, the death of being enslaved to things beyond our control. This power is called detachment, not indifference, not coldness, but the quiet discipline of refusing to let external things dictate the state of our soul. Most people are pulled like puppets by invisible strings. Wealth rises, they smile. Wealth falls, they despair. Praise comes, they walk taller. Criticism strikes, they shrink into shadows. They are not free, they are chained to the opinions, possessions, and whims of the world. But the Stoic who practices detachment stands differently. He holds everything lightly, as though it were borrowed. For he knows the truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This detachment does not weaken, it strengthens. It gives birth to a presence that is magnetic because it is rare. Imagine walking among people whose happiness depends on fragile circumstances, and then seeing one who does not bend, who does not break, who remains calm whether fortune gives or takes. That presence feels unearthly. It is as if you are standing in front of someone who has stepped outside the reach of the world. Why is detachment so magnetic? Because everyone secretly desires it. Deep within, we all know that our restlessness comes from attachment, from fearing loss, from worshipping approval, from chasing shadows. And when we encounter someone who has cut these chains, we sense a kind of freedom that feels otherworldly. We want to be near them, hoping some of that strength will spill into us. Seneca once wrote, "He who needs riches least enjoys riches most." The one who clings least to life, paradoxically, enjoys it most. For when you are detached, you are not haunted by the fear of losing. You drink the cup of life slowly, without trembling hands. You are present, unhurried, unafraid. This gives your presence a rare weight. People see in you what they wish they could find in themselves, liberation. But make no mistake, detachment is not passive. It is not retreating from the world. It is not refusing to love, to act, to dream. It is to do all these things but without chains, to love deeply but without fearing loss, to strive with strength but without desperation, to live fully but without clinging to tomorrow. Epictetus taught this with brutal clarity. When you kiss your child, whisper to yourself, "Tomorrow they may die." He was not teaching coldness, he was teaching freedom. For the one who accepts impermanence can love more fiercely than the one who fears it. And here lies the magnetism. A detached soul radiates a fearless kind of love. People can sense it. They feel safe near it because it is not manipulative, not needy, not grasping. It does not consume, it gives. When you love without chains, your love becomes a gift, not a bargain. And gifts always draw hearts closer than demands. Detachment also protects dignity, for when insults come, you are not broken. When praise arrives, you are not inflated. You walk on, steady, unmoved. And this steadiness is magnetic because it is terrifying. Most people live in fear of others' words, but when they meet someone immune to both criticism and flattery, they sense strength. It unsettles them, but it also fascinates them. This is why the detached man carries an aura that cannot be ignored. He is not desperate for approval, and so approval follows him. He does not cling to status, and so status gravitates toward him. He does not need others, and so others need him. The paradox of detachment is this: the less you chase, the more you attract. We must be clear, this trait is not a costume. You cannot fake detachment. Pretending to be above things while secretly burning for them is hypocrisy, and it reveals itself quickly. True detachment must be carved within, slowly, painfully, through years of training the mind to release its grip. It is a practice of reminding ourselves daily, this too is temporary, this too will fade, this too is not mine to keep. And when that practice ripens, something remarkable happens. You no longer fear the loss of people, possessions, or status. And because you do not fear losing, you can finally live. You can finally stand in a room and not worry what others think. You can finally give love without fear it will be taken away. You can finally walk through chaos with a still heart. And that stillness, that freedom, becomes your magnetism. So we must ask ourselves, are we still puppets pulled by strings we refuse to cut? Or have we begun the slow, painful work of detaching so that we may stand free? For when we stand free, the world notices. We become like fire in the cold, like shelter in the storm. Not because we seek to be noticed, but because freedom cannot be hidden. 5. The silent strength of restraint. There is a kind of power that does not shout, does not demand, does not force its way into the world. It moves quietly, yet it bends the atmosphere around it. It is the power of restraint. In a world that glorifies instant reaction, unmeasured words, and impulsive behavior, restraint is a rare and magnetic trait. The one who masters it becomes like a storm contained within calm waters. Everyone can sense the depth, even if they cannot see its waves. Most people are prisoners of their impulses. Anger strikes and they lash out. Desire rises and they chase it blindly. Fear whispers and they retreat. They call this freedom, but it is chains. For what greater slavery exists than being ruled by every thought, every emotion, every passing temptation? The man of restraint, however, is free. He does not allow anger to command him, nor lust to deceive him, nor fear to shrink his steps. He chooses his words and actions with precision, and in that choice lies power. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus once wrote, "The greatest proof of strength is self-mastery." To restrain oneself when provoked, to remain silent when insulted, to wait when others rush blindly forward. This is not weakness, but strength of the highest order. It is the strength that transforms a man into a pillar, unmoved while the world collapses around him. And people are drawn to this, for they sense it instinctively. Here is someone who cannot be manipulated, cannot be baited, cannot be broken. Why is restraint so magnetic? Because it terrifies and inspires at the same time. When others expect anger and receive calm, when they expect chaos and meet silence, they are disarmed. It unsettles them, for they cannot control what does not react. And yet, deep within, they respect it. They recognize the rare dignity of someone who refuses to be ruled by circumstance. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Restraint is the embodiment of this truth. When insult comes, we remind ourselves it is not the insult that wounds, but our judgment of it. When provocation arises, we whisper inwardly, we do not have to grant it power. By mastering the pause, we master the situation. Restraint is also magnetic because it creates mystery. The one who speaks less, reveals less, reacts less. Such a person becomes difficult to read, and what cannot be read fascinates. People are drawn to them because their silence feels like strength. They begin to wonder, what does he know? What does he see? What storm lies beneath that calm surface? And so the restrained man holds a power greater than the loudest orator, for his silence speaks with weight. But restraint is not merely silence, it is precision. It is not avoiding words, but choosing the right words at the right time. It is not avoiding action, but waiting until the right action carries maximum impact. The restrained man does not waste himself. He does not scatter his energy into trivial arguments, shallow pleasures, or reckless pursuits. He channels it like a blade sharpened and hidden, revealed only when necessary. Seneca described this well. Anger, if not restrained, is more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. To react without restraint is to lose twice. Once to the one who provoked us, and again to ourselves, for we hand away our dignity. But when we hold back, when we control the fire rather than let it consume us, we not only preserve ourselves, we magnify our presence. For in a room full of people shouting, the one who does not shout is the one who commands attention. Restraint also forges trust. Others feel safe near someone who does not erupt at every slight, who does not betray every secret, who does not stumble after every temptation. The restrained man radiates control, and control inspires respect. We are drawn to those who seem unshaken because we long for stability ourselves. But this trait is not easy. It is perhaps the most difficult because it requires killing the ego daily. The ego wants to prove itself, to defend, to react, to fight. Restraint whispers, wait, choose, hold. This whisper feels unnatural in the beginning, almost like cowardice, but as we practice, we realize it is the opposite. It is not cowardice, it is courage of the highest form. For it takes courage to master yourself before attempting to master anything else. And here lies the final truth. Restraint is not emptiness, but depth. It does not mean we suppress forever, but that we act only when we must, and act with precision when we do. Like a coiled spring, restraint builds potential. When it finally releases, it carries weight enough to shape the world around it. Get exclusive content and deeper insights. Join our membership today. Link in the description. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the Stoic Verse for more wisdom to guide your journey.